here, but there are people watching here on YouTube that have been doing this type of work for the last 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. So again, they have seen the ups and downs. They have been part of, they were in a recession. They were part of multiple hurricanes. So they know that this stuff exists. Really quickly before the video starts, if you want to know how to put everything that you're going to learn into action, head over to biddersneedednow.com for your free guide on how to implement the steps we're going to discuss. So today I was actually on a call with my son this morning and explained to him the process of helping us go through some of the bid registrations that we were doing for some of our opportunities up there. I ran across the Miami-Dade County website of contracts, and I was explaining to my son how I gave a presentation about 3 years ago down in Miami-Dade County discussing, and at the time we had just gone through a hurricane and there was these big disaster relief contracts coming out, and there were vendors who were getting all the work, and people were complaining about why aren't they divvying up the work and how come they didn't get opportunity and they have all the qualifications, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I remember distinctly giving that presentation to a group of participants who were actually in that field. Like, that was their job. That's what they did for a living. They had done either landscaping or tree removals, or they had trucks, they had equipment, they had people, they had all this stuff. But why were they there complaining as opposed to capitalizing on opportunity? And it made me realize that this, 3 years ago when I gave the live presentation, today the information is still relevant, because in explaining to my son the concepts, I ran across some of the same trends that happened 3, 4, 5 years ago that are happening today in 2020. As of the recording of this, it is May the 7th, and hurricane season is quickly approaching. We're about 3 weeks out from hurricane season. I pulled up here on Wikipedia, which I'm not a fan of Wikipedia, but because they had all the information digestible in one sync place, I decided to use them for the purpose of making this video. However, if you'd like to fact check any of the information, feel free to do so. But as we can see, hurricane season starts June the 1st and it goes through November 30th. Well, we're May the 7th. So again, we're about 3 weeks out from that. Now, according to multiple sources that, again, the information was gathered from these different reports, and I don't know who they are, but history typically tends to repeat itself in the future. So if you look at the history, and if you're in South Florida and you've been an adult for the last 10, 12, 15 years, you've already witnessed or experienced a hurricane. So to say that that may not happen in the future is not really being truthful with yourself, and you're more delusional than anything else. But moving forward, for all of those people who are not delusional, who really do believe that in the future we're going to have more hurricanes, tornadoes, natural disasters, wildfires, etc., well, those are the people that I'm talking to that may, if they're in this arena and they're interested in contract opportunities, they may want to start preparing themselves today for future contract opportunities. Not wait until a storm comes or a hurricane comes to say, okay, I'm going to go out and get ready. The people who are getting ready, who are lining themselves up for these opportunities, did this way in advance. And that's the purpose of why we're sharing this video. So let's go back to some points here on this Wikipedia chart. They are anticipating predictions for the tropical activity 2020 season. Okay, anywhere between 15 to 8 to 22 named storms, anywhere from 7 to 11 hurricanes, and anywhere from 3 to 5 major hurricanes. Okay, again, these are all predictions. Now, what's interesting is, and how we got on this conversation, the topic, which is it's part of my presentation, was I was here on the Miami-Dade County website, and Miami-Dade County has these pre-qualification pool of contracts similar to probably your same local municipality, your same state, or even we have this in the federal arena, right? So we have IDIVs, we have IDVs, we have BPAs, we've got IDIQs, we've got all these different pool contracts, which is the government's way of putting a pot of funds together for activities which tend to repeat themselves. So again, I'm here and I'm explaining all this concept to my son, And I said, hey, by the way, let me just show you a couple that I know of in the past and some major big ones, right? And we scroll through the list and we look at basically some big contracts. And all the time, it never fails, right? Some of the biggest contracts, and you can look at them. I mean, if we just look down the list here, right, of like the sizes, the volume. When we were going through, I explained to him about the hurricane one. So we pulled it up, and I showed him. I said, look, okay, here's hauling and disposal of emergency debris. This contract was issued in January 1st of 2019, so last year, and it runs through December 31st of 2023. The value is $90 million. Okay, now, does anybody out there want to take a guess of how many people do they think are on this particular pool? Anybody out there? 20, 30, 50, 100, 1, 10? Like, any guesses? I'll wait. Okay. Let's take a look, right? How many people are actually on this pool of contractors that, again, was created just last year? Now, mind you, there are people here, not here, but there are people watching here on YouTube that have been doing this type of work for the last 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. So again, they have seen the ups and downs. They have been part of. They were in the recession. They were part of multiple hurricanes, so they know that this stuff exists. So what's the missing ingredient? Okay, I believe that they don't know how to do it, or the people that they have working for them are not pursuing or seeking out these opportunities. Let me just go through, and we're gonna first figure out how many people are on the list, and then we'll talk some more. Okay, let's go through. Here's the contract. It's $90 million. It's disaster relief services. There's the dates. Those dates. So that's interesting. I don't know what BCC date is or DPM date, but I guess that's when they were anticipating it. But it says here, up here, the contract period. So that's what we're focusing on, the contract period. Now, let's go back and look. Vendors awarded. Number 1, Crowder Gulf joint venture out of Alabama. Number 2, I don't know how to say that, CRES Environmental Services, Sarasota, Florida. Austin Tupler Trucking, Miami, Florida. Tip Top Enterprises, Miami. A Native Tree Service, Miami. All Florida Land Cleaning, Opelika. Bulk Express Transport Inc., Miami. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. 7 people. $90 million. Everyone out there, it's so easy to complain and to cry and to look at what Trump's doing. And Trump gave his friend a contract, and he gave this guy a contract with a text message. So what? That's irrelevant. None of that is going to help you or benefit you, serve you in any positive manner to work towards helping your company grow, helping your business grow. We can't use that as a benchmark, what people do that are not traditional, that are things that we don't have any control over, or that we can't follow that same path. We have to look at the paths that are created, the opportunities that are in front of us, the things that are available to us. And these are some of the things that, again, I'm sure that in every major municipality in the country, right, that has 1 million or so people, they have pool contracts. Now, what does it take to get in a pool contract? If you are doing state work, local work, federal work, part of your homework is to research your industry and understand how do they buy the services. In this particular manner, for Miami-Dade County, Florida, this is how they were buying emergency debris work. And I'm pretty sure that Broward or any of the other surrounding communities, municipalities, if they don't have a pool set up, they can use this same pool, right, to work with their particular counties. Now, I know that applies in the federal arena. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on it. But I know in the federal arena, GSA allows local cities and municipalities to start tapping GSA schedules for a pre-approved vendors list. Now, the point of this is if you haven't done this, your homework, and done the research and figure out what it takes for you to get on one of these lists, whose fault is that? It's not my fault. Let's go one step further. And what I did, I want to show you guys something. You can actually, and this is a public website. There's no login required, no sign in. Anyone right now could go to miami.gov/procurement/contracts and see this list. You can look at pre-qualification pools. You can look at awarded contracts. I want to show something here because this is very interesting to me. Awarded county contracts, right? And I want to scroll down. Take a look at this. Emergency push and clear debris removal, $330 million. I mean, even if you were deciding, hey, you know what? I'm starting a business today. Where are the opportunities at, right? And you said, I don't even know what business I'm going to start. I'm going to just see where it sticks. If you look at just on terms of dollars and cents, you can see here on awarded contracts where the money's being spent. So if we look at this entire list of awarded contracts, and I don't know the state range, but it looks like here the number $1 being spent is design, build, operation, maintenance, civil, and then right behind that you've got the emergency disaster relief at $330 million. So for me, again, it's a no-brainer. This is not even a math equation or math problem. So again, you have to ask yourself, why am I in this industry and I'm not on one of these lists? I know people right now that are doing janitorial businesses that tell me they don't have contracts, they don't have work. That doesn't even compute in my head. When the entire nation, all of GSA and all of our buildings and all of the hospitals that we manage and we oversee are looking for janitorial services. So even if you clean schools or you clean hotels and you're sitting me telling me, well, Eric, there's no more hotels. The hotels are closed down, so I don't have any work. Are you freaking kidding me? Everybody wants their building sanitized, clean. Listen, I picked up a janitorial contract and I don't even do janitorial work. I just asked, how could I help? And then people said, this is what we need right now. This is our immediate needs. So for me, again, I'm making this not to condemn anybody, but to encourage you, to let you know that, again, if you just start spending some time, and I'm not even a whole lot of time, 2 hours a day, an hour a day, researching, okay, I'm in this particular field, I'm in this industry, what are some of the cities, states, federal governments I can be registered for? And again, I'm saying this only because I know there is a huge market of people out there that regardless of what I say, they're going to do state work and city work anyway. So again, that's fine. I get it. They want to stay regionalized. They want to stay localized. So I'm not going to try and pull you away from that mindset. So again, even if you decide, Eric, look, federal contracts is too big, and I have students like that. I have several students that, Eric, look, federal contracts is way over my head, way over my comprehension. I want to do things that are right in my backyard. Your local cities have the same types of avenues that you can be taking advantage of. You just need to pick up the phone and call people and talk to them and figure out how to get and be a part of those avenues. And you know what? One of the things that I've mentioned to two people that I've been on communication with over the last several weeks is that, look, you keep talking about ideas. We've got to actually take action. I don't sit back and wait for something to come out all the time. I go out and I get ahead of it and I register and I qualify and I tell people, hey, look, you know, what do I have to do? I'm now registered with your particular state. I'm registered with your city. Now, what do I have to do to go after these particular opportunities? This is what I do. This is what I'm really good at. This is where my expertise lies. What do we have to do for that? I've even seen people create their own pools in the federal arena, at least. They've created their own IDVs for opportunities that fit what they did, their expertise. And in one particular example, I'm thinking about a flooring contract that a guy had the Air Force Base create just because they issued so many flooring contracts that he just suggested, why not create a pool for flooring work, right? And then only select a few companies that specialize in flooring, and then anytime you want to do a job that requires removal of floors, then, you know, they would participate. And so he had that done, and he pre-qualified along with two other companies, and then they basically did, I don't know, it was $20, $30 million worth of flooring contracts. So this stuff exists. It's stuff that's out here. And I definitely want to share that with everyone today because something that I ran across this morning, I'm like, look, I gotta talk to people out there and let them know what's happening because again, what I'm seeing is that the cycle is repeating itself, and a lot of people during these quote unquote desperate times, um, sometimes you could be blinded by all of the gloom, the doom, and the grief that you're not even seeing the silver lining that's in the horizon. And unfortunately, by the time that you do wake up and realize it, it's going to be too late, and the opportunity is going to pass you, and then it's going to further spiral you down in terms of where you're at emotionally and healthy and your business. So again, I want you to see, like, look, we're 3 weeks out. Let's go out and look for some of this stuff and prepare ourselves for the next PPE wave, the next COVID-19 wave of contracts and opportunities that may be coming your way. Let's go ahead and get ourselves ready and align for this so that when it happens, we're in a position. And you know what? You can just say thank you later. All right, guys. Hey, listen, thanks so much for watching today. Govcon Giants TV. Eric Coffie here. As always, it's been my pleasure. Stay healthy, stay safe. May the Lord bless everyone.